Because none of this really matters.
Really matters.
Because none of this
Think? Everything just think?
Really matters.
Yeah, it's everything. What is going on?
Everything's just bye.
Bye, bye, bye. So what's up, Menda? You ready for this episode today?
No, just
You ready for this is day two
Day
of
two.
of like
Pod Creed.
mm-hmm. How do you think we're doing?
I
How
thought
do you
we're-
think these past how many episodes did we do yesterday?
3.
3 episodes. Those were pretty good ones. The
Yeah.
last one, it was nighttime and I feel like we were all like I don't know, I think when we record when the sun is down, which is weird because we only recorded at night. But I feel like
Mhm.
now when we record when the sun is down.
And that's funny you say that because you were like, it's so weird to record during the day.
Yeah. When
Right.
I think the only time we recorded during the day was when the last time we had to record like 3, like one day.
Mm-hmm.
Even that seemed like, oh shit, we're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
We were
and
recording
one with
3
the twins, I think too, right?
Was that? Oh yeah.
That was during the day.
But now that we're here, it's just like we could just record anytime. Come through and then now we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
This is none of this really matters. Go like, subscribe, and comment, share, and then follow us on TikTok right there on Menda's face again. Right there, TikTok, NOTRMPod on Instagram and TikTok. The
Mhm.
only things that matter.
And email.
And email notrmpod@gmail.com. Submit anything you want.
Whatever.
Really, like anything you want.
Yeah, and please stop sending spam emails.
Yeah, we need feet pics, and then we'll rate them.
Send us your feet pics.
And-
0.
Half a star.
But today we're talking about our favorite movies of the year
Mm-hmm.
that either we've talked about or we didn't have a chance to talk about or we just didn't take time to talk about on the podcast
Mm-hmm.
that we've seen this year, or but also maybe some shows if you watch some shows that came out this year, but and some future releases if you're looking forward to some stuff. Which one you're like, I need to see this in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have an entire list of movies that are supposed to come out in the future, because I only want to do this episode because we're getting into this last quarter of the year,
Yeah.
and August was just a complete shit show. There's more movies coming out in September, but like nothing that's gonna be like nothing that I expect to be like, holy shit, this is fucking great.
No, not till like October.
Yeah, like October, I know for a fact that Halloween Ends comes
Yes.
in October, and then like maybe some more scary movies that get announced the closer we get to October,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, but like in September, there's some cool stuff coming out,
Yeah. Hocus
Or no,
Pocus
this
too.
this comes out at the end of September.
Mhm.
September, some cool stuff, isn't really like scheduled to be released. Like, I don't know. We'll see it. People who have already seen the movies are like, what are you talking about? September was fucking sick.
Maybe streaming releases for September and August.
Maybe like new movies that came out that are gonna be put on stream. Like Elvis, they put Elvis on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
Dad watched it and he was like, that was fucking sick.
That's surprising.
Which that kind of gives me some hope, where it's just like, okay, at least someone thinks it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah,
I'll watch it.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch it in streaming. I think that's what we all said, was just like, we'll wait till streaming to like maybe just check it out,
Mm-hmm.
put it on, watch the first like 15 minutes, see how we feel.
Which I feel it was like super soon from like the release date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it came out in like June, I want to say. June, and then it like late June, and then it's only been like a month and a half, like 2 months, like
Yeah,
8
that's
weeks,
pretty
I want
quick.
to say. But yeah, anyways, so movies that came out this year, are there any that you have, like some of your favorite movies that you're like, that could potentially being like your top 10 of the year, by the end of the year.
Most recent was Nope,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
It is.
Highly, we've been anticipating this since we started this podcast.
Yeah.
Probably one of the reasons why we started it.
Yeah, that was especially when we started doing the directors like series. I guess
Yeah,
you could
Jordan
say.
Peele was definitely one of our first directors we talked about. Like
Mm.
went in depth.
I want to say that's the second one we did, because the first one we did was John Carpenter, and then we did Jordan Peele, and then I remember we did Denis Villeneuve after, because I was like, I don't want people think that this is only horror that we cover, because we did John Carpenter and Jordan Peele back to back, but yeah, this was Nope. It was really good, but like I have nothing bad to say about it at all. But as far as, I don't know like how I want to like say, I feel like it's not getting the credit it deserves. I feel like because of like the atmosphere, the climate of like where the world is, like where society is, I feel like people aren't like, this isn't an event as big as an event that like Dune was, I feel like, or maybe Top Gun Maverick is still the biggest. I think I was just like expecting like, oh, everyone's gonna love this, but I just feel like it's like another like big-ish movie, not as big as like the Batman or,
I think
as far as like critically.
I think by the end of the year, we'll hear a lot more about it.
Because I don't know, it's just because we're not getting a lot of movies at all. So I just wish people would be like, no, actually we are getting good movies this year, which we are. Like it's on, like there's like
Comparatively to last year, for sure.
Yeah, because or like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Because 2021, there were some solid movies. There were some like, I feel like there was no in between. There was either like some not good movies or some like really good movies. And or like if you're kind of like, I guess this sounds weird saying, but like if you're like me, but like if you're like looking forward to like a certain director's next movie, then then it's like, okay, that was a good year in movies. But like if you're just kind of just a person that just goes about life, that doesn't, I guess, like doesn't care about like seeing movies, like new movies, then
Yeah, because I mean, for some people,
like
it's just something to do. Like, oh, we're just gonna go to the movies. Oh, it's $3 movie day. Fucking, let's watch a random movie.
But this year, I feel like 2020, not this year, I feel like 2022 might be the last year of like a drought. You know what I mean?
For movies?
Like relatively, yeah.
Okay.
Like a relative drought. But I feel like 2023 is like, we're going to get movies that were made in 2021 or early 2022.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because
when shit started opening back up. And
yeah, when like the rules were
COVID
like
restrictions
more open.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like in 2022, especially early 2022, that's when we were getting a lot of the COVID movies. In late 2021, we were getting a lot of COVID movies. And it's like, that's why it all seems kind of like flat when you really think about the grand scale of everything. There's like only a handful of like big movies, but I feel like 2023 is going to be a way bigger year.
Yeah.
For movies and the like, I don't know, just like the opportunity for like what directors actually want to do rather than being like restricted. And maybe because I know that makes me wonder how like Scorsese's movie is going to be, because it's getting pushed to 2023.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it was already made in 2021. So like I know like in 2021 like things were more open than compared to 2020. But it's just like, yeah, I still wonder, that doesn't change like how the release date doesn't affect like how the movie was made. It's just like things can just be pushed and pushed and pushed. And like, is it going to feel like a COVID movie, like a COVID production? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Coming out in 2023.
Yeah. And I was really, really like, I think at the beginning of the year, I named a lot of the movies I was looking forward to. And some of those like aren't even coming out. Or like, I don't think I said a lot of the ones that didn't have an official release date. And everyone was like, okay, Killers of the Flower Moon is coming out in December.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this is just like the number one most anticipated movie by like just in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
But now that's pushed back for some reason. And it's just like, what's the point? Like, just release it. We're waiting for it.
Maybe he's trying to get into the next year's Oscars for whatever reason.
Maybe. Or maybe he's going to do 2 movies in 1 year,
Yeah.
hopefully. Because he's doing, Martin Scorsese is supposed to be doing a Grateful Dead or like a Jerry Garcia biopic or something like that. And Jonah Hill is going to be.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill's going to be Jerry Garcia. And that'll be cool. I wonder what that's going to be like. I don't know. I don't really know anything about the Grateful Dead or Jerry Garcia in particular, but I'm going to watch it.
Right.
So,
Right,
and
we
he's
have
also,
to watch it because it's
he's
Jonah Hill.
also going to do probably, if this is real, I think this is rumored. I don't think this was confirmed, but Martin Scorsese is supposed to make a Theodore Roosevelt biopic. And
You would probably lose.
and
your
guess who's
mind.
playing Theodore Roosevelt?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes, sir.
Didn't even have to
Is
look.
that-
I
is-
know.
Like, if you were to like pick
Oh
my brain,
gosh.
if you were to like pick my brain and be like,
Of
what's the
course.
best movie of all time? Oh, Scorsese directing a movie about Theodore Roosevelt and Leonardo DiCaprio is
Right.
playing.
Oh my god.
That's like the best. It doesn't get better than that. That literally, that's one of those times where I'll be like, that is cinema.
No, then you'd be like, cinematography by Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, like somebody's gotta,
You just be like,
or like Roger Deakins or some shit like that.
have a stroke
I'd be like,
in the middle of the.
I'd go alone. I would have to go
You
alone.
would rent out the entire theater and be like, this is for me.
Yeah, I would have to, cause
You're like, nobody
I-
talk to me, nobody interrupt me,
yeah,
and just
I would rent out like a whole weekend of just,
so you can see it back to back.
and it'd be like, everybody, leave me alone.
Right. Take off work.
All the AMC crew, the staff be like, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm not gonna kill myself. Just make sure nobody comes in here.
Theodore Roosevelt, Martin Scorsese. So biographical drama. There was like negotiation, so it's like in the works. I don't think it's like, I think it's in pre-production. But the rumor started in September of 2017.
I wonder if he's gonna be like fighting and
He
If
already
it-
did Revenant, so
how deep it's gonna go.
he did Revenant, Django. I'm trying to think of all the characters that would add to the essence of Theodore Roosevelt.
Django and Revenant, I guess a combination.
Yeah, combination.
Yeah.
Between those two, maybe like Great Gatsby.
Yeah. With the intelligence factor of it all, because Teddy Roosevelt was really smart. Wasn't he like a Princeton grad or Harvard?
He went to an Ivy League school, but I forgot which school. I couldn't tell you.
I think it was Harvard. I learned that from Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West.
Midnight.
But yeah, I hope that's real. There's no news on that. It's just like, that's why I say it's like a rumor. It was just like announced by like Deadline or some shit.
Yeah.
But I hope that's real.
That would be great.
And apparently, Killers of the Flower Moon. We're talking about 2022 releases, but I want to like Killers of the Flower Moon is supposed to be like Scorsese's like going wild. Like it's supposed to be like fucked up.
Maybe it's trying to get like rated or something.
Maybe.
And he has to like edit.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be like fucked up, and a lot of like reviews are like it's kind of like Scorsese's not holding back. Like he's like 80 years old now, and he's like not slowing down. Like he's
like, I'm going all the fucking way.
he's like, you thought I lost it.
Right.
I mean, but like go and watch The Irishman. You know what I mean? And like how I think I've watched The Irishman. Maybe I can't think of anything else right now, but like I don't know if I've watched it more than Goodfellas, but like it's up there, like as the amount of times I've seen it. Like the I think The Irishman is one of the best. I want to like get Teddy back on, so we can like talk Scorsese again. And I want to like go into The Irishman with him because that movie really is so fucking good. And Joe Pesci, like go back and watch The Irishman and watch Joe Pesci's performance because it's not like anything else like he did in Goodfellas or Raging Bull or Casino. Because like Joe Pesci is very like reserved and like quiet. He's like a quiet scary in that movie. Like there's a certain shot in The Irishman where he's sitting down at like a dinner table at like this party and someone's talking to it into his ear and he's like leaning over like this. Someone's talking to it into his ear and then someone's sitting next to him like leaning back like listening in on, but they're all looking at Jimmy Hoffa. And it's one of the most like chilling shots I've ever seen in a Scorsese movie. It's fucking great. I really love The Irishman, so I'm super excited.
It's also 3 hours long, so it's a commitment.
Yeah, you gotta.
If you're gonna watch it all the way through, you could break it up. And be like, okay,
that's
I'm
why
gonna
it's
do
on
stuff.
Netflix.
Yeah,
just pause it.
I'm gonna go get it.
I wish I saw it in theaters though. That'd be fucking sick. I think I had the opportunity to. I just didn't. I think I was too busy watching Uncut Gems. me, Fonzie, and my brother went to go see Uncut Gems on Christmas. That was fucking
Hopefully
great. The Safdies.
Yeah.
If they come out in 2023, I don't know when they're gonna make a movie. There's nothing about them going on. No, I don't want to say there's nothing. There was a headline. But from Adam Sandler, he was in an interview and he said he's working on something with the Safdies again. So their next movie is gonna have Adam Sandler, but he said it's like weirder than anything that's out. So they're going kind of an absurdist route, which I think I have an idea of like where they're going because they have directed a music video or two and they've produced some stuff like that movie Funny Pages that came out. It is A24. It's called Funny Pages. It didn't get a lot of like advertising or anything, so it's kind of like small. But I really loved Funny Pages, and then of course it was produced by the Safdie brothers. So I think they're going and like they're trying to go a different route and like kind of do things they want to do because they made Uncut Gems already. So it's like it's time to like go on to a different world. Because they were trying to make Uncut Gems for 10 years.
They're like, all right, we did it.
And so everything they made for 10 years, since 2009 to 2019 when it came out, everything they tried to do, like when they made Heaven Knows What, they made a documentary, they made Good Time. Everything they were doing was trying to go for Uncut Gems. Like while they were location scouting, they met a homeless woman. Josh Safdie met a homeless woman, and Josh Safdie was like so like captivated. And he was like, I want to give you a journal. I will pay you money and like send you to like rehab and like basically like help you if you just make a journal and we can like make a movie out of it. And it was great. It won like awards at the Cannes Film Festival, and then Robert Pattinson he didn't even see Heaven Knows What. He didn't even see the trailer. He didn't see any clip or anything. Literally, Robert Pattinson saw a still from Heaven Knows What, and he reached out to the Safdies, and he was like, I want to be in the next thing you're doing. Like, I don't care what it is. I need to be a part of it.
That's wild.
And he was like, I need to be in your next project, whatever you're doing. He literally said, he's like, even if it's catering, I don't care. Like, I need to be part of it. Wow. And then literally, and Robert Pattinson said this in an interview, they met at like a condo or something, I think in LA, but Josh Safdie was like, are you sure? Like, I will have you a script in like 6 weeks. Like, yeah, are you like, I'm gonna do it. And so he was like, yeah, I'm in. And so they did it and made Good Time, and they made Good Time, and then Adam Sandler saw Good Time, and then he was like, okay, yeah, I'll work with the Safdies. Because the Safdies were trying to reach out to the Safdies reached out to Adam Sandler in like 2012, and Adam Sandler's agent said no. And then 5 years later, after Adam Sandler saw Good Time, Adam Sandler told his agent and was like, "Hey, I like this movie. I like these Safdie brothers, what they do." And then they send the script again, and then the agent was like, "I read this script before," and then gave it to Adam Sandler, and they were like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then they made Uncut Gems.
But it couldn't be anybody but Adam Sandler.
They couldn't, but that's why, because they were like, it wasn't, the role wasn't for anybody else. They wrote it for Adam Sandler, which is crazy because they're like these young kids. They were like 25.
Yeah.
Like being like, we need Adam Sandler in a movie, a superstar in a movie.
Yeah. They dream big.
Yeah. And they were like,
because you just go for it. If Robert Pattinson came up to you and was like, anything you do.
Oh.
You're like,
I already have.
For real though. You're like, for real? And he's like, yeah. You're like, all right, like,
I'll be like,
I'm done.
I quit my job. I quit everything. I'd be like, take a break on the podcast.
Right. You'd be like, hey, Tatiana, I just, look, take Nova. Just go somewhere for a little bit. I'll be back. Because,
yeah, I would dedicate everything to it. And that's what, that's how the Safdies like do it. That's why I like them, is because they're they're like hustlers. They're like little hustlers. They're just like, no, we're doing this. Everything they did, it was like Uncut Gems. Like they were betting on it. Like if the Safdies said this in an interview, like if Heaven Knows What didn't succeed, we're getting day jobs. Like, or if Good Time didn't succeed, there would be no Adam Sandler. Like every single little thing counted on it working.
On the next, yeah.
And then just like the way that's set up, and that's why I love Uncut Gems, because like that, all of that story, that energy adds to the movie when you watch it. Because you're like, God, like even this movie being made was a chance. It was a gamble. And you're like, it's just, there's so much. And that's why there's a line in Uncut Gems when he's going to the auction, when he goes in to see his appraisal, and he sees that it's like not as big as he wanted it to be. It's kind of like how making a movie is, or making a song, like making any piece of art and putting it out into the public. And it's like, that's how it can be, where you're like, oh, it's gonna be worth millions. This gem, this rock is gonna be worth millions. And then you actually get it appraised, and it's only worth like 200,000, and you're like, fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's life. And there's so many. I've seen Uncut Gems 1,000 times, and there's just something I get from it each time. And I could that movie will never get old to me. I think it's literally the best, one of the best. It's my favorite movie ever. And
It's
the
so
Safdie brothers, it's a perfect movie. They spent 10 years working on one script. Like, like it has to be perfect.
Right.
And then Adam Sandler got fucking his Oscar stolen. He wasn't even nominated. And I was like, how the fuck do you get like,
who was nominated for
Best Actor in 2019?
Let me see.
Hold on. I think I want to guess it. Oh, it was Joker, Joaquin Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah. Which, like, that was a great role, too.
Yeah.
And Best Supporting Actor was Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think I know it, and that's the year that Parasite won Best Picture. Bong Joon-ho won Best Director.
Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood Best Production Design. And there was, I think I watched the shit out of those Oscars. I was like, I literally sat down and I was like, I love every single movie that's nominated. Because 2019, wait till we do the 2019 draft. That'll be a fucking draft. Because if you look at how many movies were released in 2019, there was so many just heaters.
It's like they knew the pandemic was coming.
Damn. It's like they
Stay
knew.
woke. Stay fucking woke.
Right after the Oscars in February. The Oscars were in February, and then in March, it was locked down.
Yep. You told me nobody got sick at the Oscars? Nobody.
Was Tom Hanks there?
Tom Hanks was. I think so, because I think Toy Story came out.
No way. Toy Story 4?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh. Did it come out in 2019?
That came out.
That came out earlier.
It came out 2019. 2019.
What?
Did we just unlock something?
Tom Hanks was the first one to get it.
Tom Hanks.
Because he was shooting that movie. He was shooting Elvis. Because he was in Australia. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
And what's his name? The director. Why can't I think of it? Baz Luhrmann is Australian. And he shot in Australia. Now what the fuck is going on?
Australia.
I was waiting for somebody to do it.
Great animal. Great creature. Beautiful creature.
Baz Luhrmann.
Baz Luhrmann. That's a great white, beautiful, beautiful creature. I don't know.
Have you seen that episode of Bad Friends?
No.
When Bobby talks about the people in Australia.
He was like, they all look inbred. He was like, all their chins are in. He was like, all their eyes are bug out. He like, how? He like,
Oh my gosh.
But as far as movies that come out that are gonna come out, do you have any that like you're looking forward to?
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda forever.
Yes.
That's
A given.
yeah. Well, we've talked on that. We've talked Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked enough Marvel.
Well, that was a month ago for them now.
Yeah.
The Woman King with Viola Davis.
Yeah, that is coming out. That comes out in September. By the time
September 16th.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking forward to that. Of course, Avatar.
Yes, that comes out in December.
Yeah, and then
Avatar 2. That's gonna be insane. That's
gonna be an event.
That's gonna be a huge event. That's gonna be Oscar fucking city right there.
Mm-hmm.
People gonna be blue.
They've had the Avatar filters and shit on
Oh,
social media.
already?
Yeah.
Damn, they're already prepping. They're gonna put Avatar back in theaters, the first one,
Yep.
but like in prep.
And
Of course.
end of September. They're
Make a
gonna
quick Billy real quick.
for real.
That's
Like,
insane.
Who doesn't want to see that in IMAX?
Yeah, like
Let me make a quick Billy real quick. It's better IMAX now too.
Exactly.
And resolution's better
And
on screens.
I was gonna say, that they've done some type of editing, just even on re-release for Disney Plus.
like scans, like,
Yeah.
like restorations. Yeah, if it needs restorations, that movie was fucking great. Like but still, James Cameron, he wants that shit
Exactly.
to be pristine.
Crisp. That shit's about to be crisp. Hocus Pocus 2, of course.
That's
Come on now.
That's all you.
Come on now.
That'd be cool to watch. That'd be a fun, like with the kids and whatever, just to get you in the spirit.
Like, shut the hell up.
Like, I've been looking forward to this.
Put my Halloween costume on.
With the
What were we telling them to be quiet on? We told them to be quiet on something.
Finding Dory.
No, I think it was She-Hulk.
Yeah, it was She-Hulk.
Yeah, because it was like the non-fighting, like they're talking, and it's critical information.
They started getting antsy.
Yeah,
Oh,
but they're
yeah.
like, no one's green
Because
on the screen.
last night, me and Zoe, I had Zoe here, and me and Tatiana, I gave Zoe 5 of my like Blu-rays, and I was like, which one do you want to watch? And she ended up picking La La Land.
Mm-hmm.
And then she watched it. We were watching it, and she said she was enjoying it, but it's like, I can tell like during the talking parts, she wasn't like, she was getting antsy.
She was like, "This is boring."
Yeah.
It's because their generation.
And I'm just like, damn, like how do you show a kid movies? Like, that's gotta be hard with TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, also it has to be like captivating, like age appropriate for them.
Mhm.
For her to be like looking at people in a relationship, there's singing and dancing.
Yeah, that's
and
the
all
part
that.
she was paying attention to.
But the other part, she's like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like,
But like I get that, but I hate to be like, but when I was in 4th grade, but it's like when I was in 4th grade, I was watching, you know.
I know, but the same thing. Like, I was watching Grease, but I was like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Now
Yeah.
I'm like, abortions. What?
Yeah.
Like, this is wild.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just
Like, everybody hooking up in the cars, and I'm like, oh, they're at the movies. Like, that's cool, driving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the same thing with like Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
Where you're like, someone gets and another person kills themselves.
Dirty
not funny,
Dancing.
but-
Watched that movie 1,000 million times at Grandma's house. Did I know what it was about?
Absolutely not.
No. But
I
was
never
like,
watched
this
it.
is awesome. It's a great movie.
Grease. I never watched it until a week or two ago. When
You seen Dirty Dancing?
Dirty Dancing, yeah, of course. that is wild. When I rewatched it and I was like, they're trying the whole time. The reason why they're dancing is to gain money to have an abortion. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. It's wild how they just snuck that in there. I mean, I didn't sneak it in there. They just say it.
Right.
They're like, someone get a coat hanger or something like that. I don't know.
I was like, whoa.
But movies that I'm looking forward to. Let me see. The Whale we were talking about.
Oh, yes.
With Brendan Fraser. I'm all about that. I'm ready to see that. I'm interested because it's one, Brendan Fraser, and two, Darren Aronofsky hasn't made a movie since Mother. Do you remember Mother with Jennifer Lawrence? Have you heard of it? Javier Bardem.
Sounds familiar.
It's like a really like biblical story. I didn't really fuck
I'm
with it that
thinking
much.
about Mom and Dad with Nick Cage.
Oh no.
That's what I'm thinking about. Or-
Well, he hasn't made a movie in like 4 years,
Mhm.
but he's made some like amazing movies like Black Swan. I really love Black Swan, and I really love The Wrestler. So like after that, I'm like, okay, I'll watch anything he makes. But it's like he's very like takes time between projects, so it's like I know that it's gonna be like a good quality, picture.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see that.
And then on Netflix, there's gonna be a Netflix movie, the Marilyn Monroe one, Blonde.
Yes, I want to see that too.
That'll be cool because Andrew Dominic directed it, and he made Killing Them Softly.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Killing Them Softly. And then I remember like 2 years ago, I was like, what other movies has he done? And then like he's done the assassination of Jesse James, and then he did this old movie like in the early 2000s. With Eric Bana called Chopper, and then it was like rumored or something like that. At the time, it was rumored. It was just like kind of like, oh, he's gonna make a Marilyn Monroe biopic, and I'm like, what? Like, it's such a crazy turn in like genre and aesthetics.
But it's supposed to be more of like her private life, not like.
And it's based off of a book. It's based off a novel, not even like a biography book. It's like based off a novel.
Yeah.
Like, and I was gonna read it like before I watched it, but then I was like, it's an 800-page book. I'm not gonna read this shit. Like I would if it was like under 400 or 300, but it's like 800 pages. That would last me like over a month to make that shit or to read that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still excited to see the Marilyn Monroe movie. It'll probably be like cool to like see, like, because Ana de Armas is playing Marilyn Monroe, and she said that each like scene is based off of like an actual existing photo.
That was Blade Runner
What?
2049.
What about it?
That's her, right?
Yeah. The AI. Or the hologram.
The hologram.
And she was in the Gray Man. She was the girl. But she's like popping. She was in the movie Knives Out. I haven't seen that yet. I've heard nothing but good things about Knives Out. I do want to watch it, but she's like popping now. She's like gonna be in a lot of movies, and but yeah, fucking Blonde that comes out.
I do want to see that Honk for Jesus Save Your Soul
Yeah,
with Regina Hall.
yeah, and Sterling K. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like, I don't know.
I think it'll be funny.
I think that'll be good, but I wish they chose, like, I love both of them, but like I wish they chose all actors that were like kind of unknown, so like you would think if that's real or not, because by the trailer they're like kind of like it's a documentary.
Yeah.
But I wish it was like unknown actors that no one's ever seen before, and that so you could be like, is this real? Like, are these real people? Like, I wish they went that way with it.
Yeah.
But like either way, I'll probably watch it.
I mean, I love Regina Hall, so.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. That'll be a funny movie. I'm a really big fan of Sterling K. Brown.
And there was one. I forgot what it was.
There's gonna be that prequel.
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, yes, with John David Washington.
Yes.
And Christian Bale
and Margot Robbie.
I
was trying to find the name of the movie. I was like, there's this movie with Margot Robbie.
Yeah. I just watched Tenet with Tatiana.
Mm-hmm.
And because she hasn't seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
And she watched it, and literally there was one scene, I forgot which scene, but John David Washington was talking, and it hit her. She was like, this sounds just like Denzel. She was like, he talks just like him.
You can hear when he starts getting into it, you're like, that's your daddy's DNA all up in them vocals. It's a copycat right there.
It's crazy.
Carbon
Especially
copy.
Black Klansman. You're like, that
He
is...
is that bass.
I'm not gonna lie, he's like almost like a smoother Denzel. He's almost like a little bit cooler in Tenet.
Yeah.
He's like a more like, he just seems
classy.
Like, yeah, he just seems smooth. Like he just kind of has this. Now you sound like your daddy, but you seem a little bit cooler. Like the mantle's about to get.
Mm-hmm.
John David Washington has unlimited potential because he hasn't disappointed. Like, no one's ever seen like Black Klansman and Tenet and been like, I don't know. Like, you know, like he's a performer. Like, he knows what the fuck he's doing.
Right, which is why I'm excited to see Amsterdam.
Yeah, Amsterdam. I'm gonna definitely watch it. And he's also in that movie Beckett that a lot of people. That was like a COVID movie. Mm-hmm. It was like an action. It was like a thriller. And I watched it on Netflix. I thought it was a solid movie. It was fun to watch. It wasn't anything crazy, but it's like it was John David Washington in like an action movie. He played like this regular dude. He wasn't like a fucking agent and a time traveling fucking spy,
right?
Or he wasn't a fucking
Robert Pattinson.
undercover FBI infiltrating the KKK. But like he was just a regular dude like in Europe. And like someone, I forgot the story, but like someone kidnapped his wife or something like that, or he got in a car crash and I think his wife died, or like it's something with his wife, and he like tries to look for the people who did it, and he has like a broken arm in the movie.
Jeez.
And it's like, it's pretty dope. It's a cool, fun movie to watch with John David Washington. Like, if you're a fan, you should watch it. That's why I watched it, purely because of fucking John David Washington. So yeah, Amsterdam. That's another reason. The only reason I want to see it is because of John David Washington. Anything he's in, I will watch. Just like Denzel. Anything he's in, I'll watch. I don't fucking care. So yeah, Amsterdam is another one that I'm super fucking excited to see. And then Steven Spielberg is coming out with a movie this year called The Fabelmans.
No.
It's supposed to be like autobiographical.
Oh yes.
It's
like post World War II in Arizona.
Yeah, because he grew up here.
I was just looking at that.
And it's coming out this year. There hasn't been any like trailers or anything like that in it, but
so he's gonna just drop some fire and be like, all right.
But Seth Rogen's gonna be in it, which is pretty cool. But and Paul Dano, he's also gonna be in it, and then those are like the two biggest people that are gonna be in it. But like, it's a Steven Spielberg movie. It might be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Especially if it's shot in Arizona.
I hope. I would believe it is. I think if it's autobiographical and Spielberg really cares, he'll be like, no, I need to shoot this in Arizona. But if not, I'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? Then we'll be like, that's definitely not
definitely
Arizona.
not.
It's like, what
It's
the
not
fuck
here.
are you doing?
That's New Mexico desert.
Like, I don't know. It's fucking, I hate when movies do that.
You're like,
But-
oh, that's Arizona. Like,
Definitely LA.
no.
But Sam Mendes, the guy who made 1917, and he made Jarhead, and he made Skyfall, Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, he's coming out with the movie Empire of Light.
What's that gonna be about?
It's supposed to be like a love story.
Mm-hmm.
A love story set in and around an old movie theater on the south coast of England in the 1980s. And the only reason I want to see that movie is because Roger Deakins is a cinematographer.
Okay.
And so I can't remember the last movie he did. It was either like he shot 1917, and then I just can't think of anything he shot after that, if I'm being honest.
Let's see.
But this is his next movie,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the only reason I want to see that movie. Oh, the last movie he shot was 1917, and then before that he shot that movie The Goldfinch.
Mm-hmm.
But then the last movie before that was Blade Runner 2049.
Exactly. And then Sicario.
Yeah, he killed it.
So
He's the greatest.
No Country for Old Men. Okay.
He's like
So
definitely.
that's gonna be interesting.
No, Deakins he's the shit. He's shot so many great fucking movies. Shawshank Redemption. He shot Oh Brother Where Art Thou, Fargo, Big Lebowski, all the Coen brothers, a lot of the Coen brothers. What else? Assassination of Jesse James. He shot In Time, which is fucking. He shot Prisoners. Hell Caesar. He shot fucking,
Yeah,
like you
that's
said,
some
No
pretty
Country
good.
for Old Men.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of fucking iconic movies. He's
Yeah.
just the greatest.
Well, that'll be.
And so
That'll be
seeing
something to look
Empire
forward
of
to.
Light,
Mhm.
that's the only reason I really want to watch it, is because Deakins is back. And then another movie, I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but X
Yes.
is the prequel to X, I
Okay.
should say.
It's
Pearl.
coming out.
Yeah, the trailer, when I see the trailer, it looks cool. Because even when I saw the trailer to X, I was like, oh, okay, I'll see it. It's an A24 horror movie. I'll watch it. And then I saw it in theaters, and I was like, I'm not fucking with
Yeah.
this at all.
I remember that.
And then I watched it again when it came out on streaming. I rented it, and I was like, thank God I rented this, because I did not want to spend any more money on this movie. Because like I rewatched it, I was like, maybe I'll like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I was just kind of like not feeling it that day or some shit like that. And I rewatched it, and I was like, no, this is definitely not what I wanted it to be at all. But then I see the preview to the prequel, and it looks like a much better concept than, like, it just a much better concept in general, and how it'll connect to X,
Okay.
because it's about the old lady that's the antagonist in X, and this is like her origin story.
Okay.
Essentially.
And they said that it was. I was just looking at it right now that they shot those back to back.
Yeah.
They shot X and then Pearl. Back
And then
to
they
back.
kept it a secret, and I was like, damn, that's smart. Because like you don't have to redo set design or anything like that. Just kind of like
Exactly.
just
Tweak
shoot
some
it as it is.
Yeah.
just like clean it up a little bit, have it look like, remove some technology, like TVs and shit, whatever's in the fucking house, because it's all one location essentially. Or X was like, they were just basically on the road. They stopped at like a gas station, I want to say, and then like 80% of the movie was one location.
Okay.
So yeah, that's Pearl. That's a pretty.
I think that
That comes out in September, but like it'll be a cool Halloween movie maybe. But yeah, and also you know that movie Fletch with Chevy Chase, the old like comedy. He's like
No.
I want to say he's an investigative reporter.
No.
Okay, never mind. Well, what's his name? John Hamm is gonna be in like a reboot essentially. Which the original movie was like, they're all based It was based on a book, but
Okay.
there's like a series of books, and like John Hamm's gonna be in like it's a reboot, but it's like based on a different book though.
Okay. Okay.
So it's like gonna be a different story. But I'm still like excited to see it because I fucking love Chevy Chase and I love Fletch. So it's like I wonder what. And John Hamm, I feel like he needs to be in more shit.
Yeah, he's been in a Progressive commercial, and that's
and an
about
Apple TV commercial
So-
about him calling himself out, being like, "Oh, there's Denzel, there's Tom Hanks," and he's like, "How come I'm not here?"
Yep.
And like that's what we're all thinking.
Duh.
Like, why is he just a bad guy in Top Gun Maverick? Like, that's it. That's
I
all.
mean, but it was good though.
It was good, but it's like we need him in
We
a
need
movie.
Yeah, we need like a full.
But it's still a little disappointing
main
that he's gonna be
character.
in like a comedy. Like I want him to be in something cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, he is funny though. I think about like Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
You know?
Like he is, like no doubt. But it's like, you know what I mean? It's John Hamm. You got this big white guy.
He's
know-
going to waste.
And you need him to be in the fucking.
Oh
You need
my
him to go in on
gosh.
some fucking roles. I don't know. Where are we at, Rob?
We are at 46 minutes.
46 minutes. God damn it, Menda. 14 minutes to go. What are we going to talk about? My favorite movies of the year that have came out. Should I just do a ranking real quick?
Not
'Cause
in order.
Not in order. Just do.
Okay. So, The Northman off top.
Obviously, that was already one of my top 5.
I haven't rewatched it in a while, but I watched it twice in theaters. And I don't think I watched it in its entirety at home because I have it in 4K. But I don't think I've watched it. I think I started it and I got interrupted like a couple times. Or like Dad was watching it and I came in on like the raiding scene and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" That's the best scene I've seen all year. Was that like 2-shot scene or 3? And I was like, "God, this is insane." It was great seeing that in Dolby Theater. Seeing that, it was great.
It was great.
And then like you said, Nope was an event for us. I'm glad we all were just like, say like I still think about it. It's still like worth watching.
I remember when you're like, does anybody still like look at the clouds and be like,
There's a UFO in there for real.
something in there?
I be looking at clouds. If a cloud looks too perfect, I'm like, that's a fucking UFO, for real.
Be like, oh, we're in fucking.
Dude, Bullet Train got a lot of good reviews.
Did it? Like good reviews?
Yeah, it's like not good, but it's like 7.5 out of 10, 54% on Rotten Tomatoes, 49% on Metacritic, even on
Wait, what was the percent on Rotten Tomatoes?
54%.
That's like not good, but I don't even pay attention to Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, no. I would say if that's the critic score for Rotten Tomatoes for an action movie of that style, that's surprising to me. I was expecting like a 36% or something.
Yeah.
But even on Letterboxd, people are like, "Nah, this shit." It's like they were like, "It's fun." They're like, "This shit is pretty damn."
Yeah, it seems
good.
fun, but when I saw seeing the trailer a million times,
It's made it seem like
Yeah.
because they
This is-
over inundated you on Instagram with the Bullet Train shit.
yeah, and I was like,
and that was when we were going to the movies like back to back to back.
That is
to back
true.
to
That
back.
is true. That's
so
true.
we would just see
yeah, it just
the
looks
trailer.
like. I was like, by the
every
end, I was like,
single
this is just green screen the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, this is.
I've seen the
insane.
whole movie like 4 times.
This is
already.
Train to Busan without zombies.
Yeah, I'm like, what? I don't know.
I might still go see it though.
I think I'm just not interested in that. Like, shout out to Brad Pitt for like, just like doing shit he wants to do. He was like, I want to work with the people that made John Wick, so like, let's do it. You know what I mean? But it's like, maybe it's cool. Like, maybe I'm sleeping on it.
I mean, I would still watch it
On streaming.
on streaming.
Yeah, I'll like check it out.
Like
on
as soon
stream.
as it comes out, I'll be
Like,
like, yeah, let's watch it.
It seems like a movie that like I won't pay attention to, but then like maybe my parents will be like, you know,
Let's watch
oh,
it.
we were watching Bullet Train.
Yeah, my husband be like, oh, I bought Bullet Train. You'll be like, all right, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'll be like, fuck, like this is my chance.
Yeah.
Like to just sit down and watch it with a group of people because I like watching movies with like multiple people. Like instead of just like me and just Tatiana or like me and just in the theater. It's cool watching it with a crowd. Like when I saw The Batman, another movie of 2022 that I love.
People were super excited in the
Yeah.
theaters.
Yeah.
When
I was surprised.
Nerding out.
It surprised me.
I saw that 3 times in theaters. And
That's
it was
wild.
fucking
9 hours of your life.
Yeah.
it was great.
It was like,
it
because there's
was
so much like action and so loud and
it was
I mean it's good, but to see that like multiple times in a row.
It's like watching him getting his ass whooped.
Yeah.
It was like
well,
Spider-Man.
When I watched them, I would pay attention to different things
Each time.
each time I watch it. Like I'll watch the first time I watch a movie, I'm watching it story like what happened, like just when you watch a movie. The second time, pay attention to like cinematography and editing. The third time, pay attention to performances. Like there's kind of like an order I think I do where it's just like choices by supporting, you know, like what was this person thinking, like I always think of what's his name, Jeffrey Wright and John Turturro, that's his name. Jeffrey Wright as Gordon and John Turturro as Falcone. Like I love both of their performances. I really love Jeffrey Wright. Like I think like on my third time watching it, and then I watched it at home on like my phone the other day, I was like, this is actually such a great fucking movie. Because the Batman is super easy to fuck up.
Yeah.
And they didn't fuck up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean I like the direction that they are taking with it. Like the very beginning, like, you know, the dirty of Batman, you know.
Yeah.
Where he's still like, this is fucking revenge. Like, fuck them people.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's doing
That
it.
he's fucked up.
He hasn't, because in Batman Begins, it's a different story, but it's just kind of like, I guess that's what it is. It literally is just different direction. It's a different vision of like the kind of story, Batman story they're trying to tell. Of like, this is the, you know, a detective comic. This is a noir film of like, we're telling a crime story. This is like Zodiac or some shit, or Seven, or it's like a paranoid thriller, like All the President's Men, or like, or fucking, I don't know, like The Parallax View or some shit,
or like Seven.
Yeah, or like Manchurian Candidate shit.
Yeah,
like this is like this is a big deal of what they're trying to do with Batman. And when you just say Batman, people are gonna be like, okay, what are they?
There's an idea already.
People care so much.
Yeah.
Like people who aren't even interested in
are
like
super invested in the character
people who
of
don't
Batman.
care about filmmaking, or they don't care about, you know, they don't know. They're, once they hear a Batman movie, or they hear Robert Pattinson is gonna be Batman, they're like so quick to be
they're
like
the loudest people in the room.
And it's
the
just like
people.
when you do watch this movie, people, and it's not like it received bad reviews. The people love this movie.
Yeah.
But it's more of just like, no, I don't think you guys understand. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Like this is like, we're so blessed that this is like how they went with it. But while I was thinking, if they're gonna do a sequel, don't do this again. Leave this how it is, but go more comic book. Go Killer Croc. Go more. Who's that guy? Rob. He's the Batman villain. Is it Hugo?
Strange.
Hugo Strange.
He runs Arkham Asylum.
He's gonna be. There's a rumor that that's gonna be the villain.
Right, because that was the end. Was that the ending of Batman?
Oh, with the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're thinking of that animated movie we watched. You saw the one where Hugo Strange he manipulated Waller.
Okay.
Cause remember, she's in most continuity, she's the warden of Belle Reeve.
Are they in Arkham Asylum in the Batman? Is that Arkham
Yeah,
Asylum?
yeah.
Okay.
Anytime you see somebody crazy in Batman movies, it's always
They're in Arkham Asylum.
Or the Raft, which is like
What I heard, because we were talking about Batman 2, the Batman 2.
Yeah.
Like it being it's out there, but it's like where no one's running anything, no one's like shooting, no one's in the production at all yet. But
it hasn't even been greenlit yet.
No, so they were like, well, what if they're running with Colin Farrell and like the Penguin?
There's supposed to be.
That would be.
They did after the movie came out. There was supposed to be an HBO Max series about the Penguin.
That'd be great because he was. I was like,
he was amazing.
He was ridiculous.
He was
like, unrecognizable.
They probably have the only apprehension they probably have to that is the fact that they ran that story into the ground with that Gotham show. Whereas Alfred, like everybody who's a villain, but before Bruce Wayne even shows up.
Okay.
Or when Bruce Wayne's a child still, is what everybody is in that show.
Yeah.
So I could see that being the only apprehension because of the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really liked it like that, even though it has like 5 seasons.
Like we didn't like it, like Arrow.
Yeah. Like people didn't like Arrow, but like if you fuck with,
there's like 6 seasons of it.
Yeah,
but
like it's also like the Flash too. It's like it's corny.
Yeah, people did pay attention to Gotham though, like with the Joker, especially the guy who played Joker. People like paid attention.
Yeah.
Like when you were talking about people who played Joker, that guy was like people actually considered him. They were like, oh, Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, and then whoever that guy was. I don't know his name.
Him.
But like I just didn't pay attention. I never watched that show. But if they do a number 2, I would say hold on the Joker. I feel like
got to.
And do do Mr. Freeze.
That's too well, you did say you wanted like fanciful, like big.
Yeah, like go. I just say.
You mean like lean Tim Burton?
No, don't like. You don't have to go to Tim Burton, but I would say like find. I just think, because I was thinking about when I was watching the movie. I think The Flood. Would be like an excellent segue to Mr. Freeze or Killer Croc.
The Killer Croc thing would
make more sense. I feel like. But I think
if you stayed with that type of, because the Riddler made sense, and when you say make sense, and like the grand scheme of that movie, all of that stuff seemed feasible. A tricked out Charger, a guy in a bulletproof suit who actually does get beat up pretty bad. He can fight, but he gets beat up pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's like the Riddler was just an incel, so you could. I think that's what made the movie so good. You're like, this feels kind of like
real.
Yeah. So the Penguin, you would have to. That's the only thing that makes you can make him more fanciful though. Give him the more like
cartoonish, like Danny DeVito.
Yes. Give him gadgets. Give them more gadgets. I think.
Yeah. I'm curious to see like how they're gonna go about it. But I think Hugo Strange.
I also really support that idea because he's sick and sadistic. You gotta think, and he's also
in the video game. He's honestly scary.
Yeah, he's the only person who figured out. Well, not the only. He's one of the few people who deduced that that's Bruce Wayne.
Right.
Because he's so smart. He's so goddamn. Because he's like, you have to be a psychopath, and who matches these things that would make? Oh, you must have parent issues. You must have this, and he's just like Bruce Wayne. Because the main thing that's the main thing he said. He was like, well, this person clearly has access to money. So if it's not him directly, he's being bankrolled by somebody.
Yeah. That has money.
It really is one of those things like Superman. In DC, you're like, how do you not know that?
In Gotham, come on.
Like, come on, dude. That place should not have rich people. Even though Gotham has so many, it really is New York. It has so many rich people in Gotham. Like that whole Quarter Owl storyline where there's like just families of billionaires and millionaires, and not even just millionaires and billionaires, like politicians, just influential socialites. And they were like, we need you, Bruce Wayne. They had no idea he was Batman.
Right.
And he was like, my dad told me about you guys. And he said, y'all are fucking nuts.
I wonder who would play.
I wondered that would be a good thing to bring up in the movie, something that nobody's ever really touched before, like the Quarter Owls thing, like have like, because they had like an assassin like that was like their hand of vengeance or something like that.
I mean,
and he beat Batman's ass. He was trained by the same people, so he like fucked him up.
Because in this one, he hasn't been like trained yet, right?
There was no Ra's al Ghul. Maybe Ra's al Ghul will come into it. That'll make it more fantastical, I feel like.
That would. He'd be like, I've heard about you. I've heard about you running around here like a dickhead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Ra's al Ghul comes in. Hugo Strange comes in. And then Penguin.
They like to do multiple villains, it seems. Batman always has like...
There's a lot of shit going on.
His villains always work together against him.
Yeah, maybe Scarecrow.
That would be a Scarecrow, Penguin, and Hugo Strange would be great.
Hugo Strange, if you want to stick to the more realistic side of it, I think Hugo Strange...
Somebody getting into his head.
Would be like the best bet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think. Like, who would play Hugo? Who do you think would be a good to like nail?
Because that voice.
Yeah.
Because the problem is we're all going to associate Hugo Strange with the game.
Mm-hmm.
We can hear that voice like that. You can hear it. It's like, even though the animated movies emulate that type of like, he gets real monotone when he gets evil.
Maybe.
What's his name? Yes. Django. Yes. You know who I'm talking about.
Don Johnson?
Christoph Waltz.
Oh, wow. Maybe. I think
the only thing I could see that not happening because people don't know Hugo Strange is actually like imposing. He's actually like a big dude. He's not small. He's actually like a bigger. Yeah,
that's the only thing. I was like, maybe he needs to be bigger.
He probably has to. I think Hugo Strange is like, in the comics, I think he's like Batman size, like 6'2", like 2 something.
Maybe like as far as voice, like I think someone who would nail it or just have a good take on it would be maybe John Malkovich. I don't think he would do it though. Realistically,
Realistically.
I don't think
if you show him the Batman, you'd be like, "Hey, man, this is more cinema than it is comic book." Because it was that was a perfect blend of cinema and comic book.
Yeah, I think if you were to, like, in a dream world, pick anybody you wanted, John Malkovich would be cool. But
he did Red though, so
yeah, that's true. I just think he's very selective though.
I do think that maybe it's probably a director thing.
Yeah, maybe, but I think John Malkovich would be a cool,
great Hugo Strange
because he's the bald, the glasses. That's just the look.
The voice would nail it.
When you said voice, I was like, who has who could do like a strong, impactful voice? And I think John Malkovich is good at like delivery.
Yes.
And the craziness but serious tone, I think
being serious tone and the menacingness, but like behind it.
Yeah, he's fucking psychotic.
And he could switch it if they had
wanted
scenes.
To yell or have like an angry,
or if he was like, I have to act like scared or like act like I don't know what's going on.
I think John Malkovich would be sick.
Yeah.
Or who's like older? I don't know.
It would have to be older too.
Yeah,
like somebody closer
like
to.
Christoph Waltz is a good, as far as just performance. I think that'd be a good Hugo Strange.
Exactly. I was thinking pure performance, but size and look and keeping it to the comic books
would be John Malkovich is a good one.
I can't think of anybody older. No.
You do John Hamm.
That honestly would be great. Yeah. He's just so likable in the face, though. Even as an admiral, I was like, "You a dickhead, but you definitely should be an admiral. You have that face.
He's so square.
It's so like stoic."
And I think that's Hugo. That's a good Hugo Strange, though.
Yeah, that was good, John Hamm. You're right, or Todd Hamm, as Flo likes to call him.
Todd Hamm.
But yeah, The Batman is a movie in 2022 that I really fucking enjoyed. And then that, like I said, that movie Funny Pages. That's one of my favorite ones that I've seen recently. I'll wait and see like how I feel about it. You know, when it ages a little bit instead of like recency bias. But I really, really loved Funny Pages. And then, I just burped.
Yeah, we heard.
Top Gun Maverick.
I watched that at home the other day.
We watched it at home. Boy, still hits.
I have a lot more, but like I kind of want to wrap it up.
We're at 6:30.
Top Gun Maverick. Oh, and also Everything Everywhere All at Once was another
Yes.
good one.
Gotta buy that on Blu-ray.
And or let me just like rapid fire.
Run it up.
So Cha Cha Real Smooth was another great one. It was very touching. The movie Fresh, it's on Hulu. It's a cool, like, the first half is like a weird rom-com that's like off-putting, but then the second half is a fucking crazy horror movie. It's very weird. Ambulance, fucking, I loved it. I don't care how much people talk shit about Michael Bay. This is fucking one of his best. No Exit, it's like a whodunit movie in the middle of like a blizzard. It's super cool. It's in the middle of a cabin. Twists and turns, pretty great. No Exit is cool. Crimes of the Future, did I already say that?
No.
Crimes of the Future, need I say more? Men was a little disappointing, but I liked it. I might have to watch it again, but it just wasn't like any other Alex Garland movie. I don't know. Prey, solid movie.
Solid.
I thought it was solid. It was one of the better. It's weird because like Predator movies in general, like objectively, not that good. But when you're like, it's like Marvel movies, you know what I mean? But like if you love just the story and shit like that,
Yeah, the franchise.
but when you want, like, if you have like a loyalty to it, you'll love.
Oh yeah. Bobby Lee even was like, "It's such a good fucking."
He
movie.
loved it. Yeah.
He's like, "This is." He was like, "That is a great fuck." Because he said the same thing we said. I like. That's why I bring up Bobby. I'll be like, it solidifies what we be saying. He's like, I like the fact that they made them more, not what's the word? Not savage. More like they were less technologically advanced than they were in the future. Like you could see it in everything about the Predator. It's like, oh, this nigga really just fought a bear. Like that bear fight scene.
Wow.
I went back and just watched just that scene.
Yeah,
He's
that's
fighting a fucking bear
A grizzly bear.
Yeah.
and gets fucked up.
And then gets up and it's like, I'm gonna fuck this bear up and hits this nigga with one of the meanest right hooks. And then it also, I like that that scene because I was like, if you look, it shows you how big a predator actually is. A bear on his hind legs is average like 9 feet.
Right. And also
The
to
Revenator.
right. Also to see like how it's like a initiation type of thing for them. Like for them to be dropped off and be like fucking survive.
Yeah.
But you also had to wait because we weren't smart yet. We weren't good enough to fight you back yet.
Right. And also like the predator is young, so you see that like he's not as advanced as you would
It's
see
a
in
naive,
normal,
he makes a lot of mistakes that the one that was hunting Arnold didn't make.
Yeah.
The one where Arnold seemed like it was playing with them.
Yeah.
Like this species has been coming
Yeah.
here for at least 200 years now. Like you kind of know about Earth.
Yeah.
That one was like, nigga, I did not know that a giant 9-foot thing that can crush moose lived here. And now you got these monkey things that we've been watching for the past however many thousands of years, you know, from the Predator movies that they let you know, like they've known about Earth for a long time. They just didn't really hunt until the Prey movie. And it was like, oh, okay, he did make a lot of like dumbass mistakes. Even getting shot by like humans was pretty like, man, you're dumb. Like you didn't dumb in the sense that you're an alien who just flew clear across the galaxy to come hunt us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, dumb in that sense, you know.
Yeah, I appreciated how they did it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't. I'm just glad they didn't fuck it up. Because, like, when I heard Prey, I was like, just the title, I was like, I feel like that's low hanging fruit. But then it was like, okay, this is the setting, the time. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is more interesting. And then the trailer came out. I was like, oh, fuck. This is actually badass. Like, I was like, this is fucking sick.
Or did they use actual Native Americans and actual like French people? I was like, this is like, it just felt very time period appropriate.
Yeah.
Also
Pretty-
more realistic because it's like they don't fucking speak the same language. Like,
Yeah.
Boom! The French thing, it was like, yes, thank you.
And then, actually, I think I want to rewatch it because they have it in Comanche, too. So if you watch it, like, true to the language, I think it'll add a different tone to the movie when they're actually speaking. You know what I mean?
that'd be cool.
And I think just the accuracy to that is pretty fun.
Right.
You said they have it where they're speaking Comanche.
Yeah, like dubbed.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, like the actors, like, they did the whole thing in Comanche.
I'm gonna go
That's pretty cool.
listen to that. Yeah, I would love to. You don't hear Native American languages.
And it's the first movie ever to be dubbed in Comanche of all time. Like
Wow.
the first one ever.
That's pretty fucking
It's
cool.
been like 200 fucking years.
Yeah, you tried to erase
Damn.
them. No, sir.
We out here.
Yeah,
We back,
it's
baby.
pretty dope.
How many Comanche still exist, I wonder? Or do any of them exist anymore?
I don't know.
I know it's
don't
like
think any of them-
600,000 Navajo.
Idaho. But yeah, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are
All right.
A recap on 2022 real quick, and I gotta go.
Yes.
I gotta pick up Tatiana
Later.
All right.
right
Because
now.
none of this really
Alright,
matters.
peace.